Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. Bitcoin is ripping off across the charts and it is bleeding all of the rest of the markets. This is an exceptional sign and a very bullish signal that I am looking forward for the long term very greatly at this point. With us coming so close to this halving, it's very important that Bitcoin starts showing strength, and that's exactly what we're doing. Today I'm going to be showing with you guys a reversal pattern that's playing out in Bitcoin that is one of the best reversal patterns that we are going to see that oftentimes leads to immense upside. And then we're also going to be comparing it to the altcoin dominance and showing you guys a fractal and a pattern that's played out over 5 times, and every single time this plays out, we have a major alt season. There's a lot of really exciting things in this video, so make sure that you guys stay all the way to the end because I don't want you to miss out on any of this information. It's really going to help you guys a lot with your trading plans. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Make sure that you guys click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. Remember to also join my Discord server. It's free for anybody to join. All you gotta do is click in the description of this video, and there you're gonna find the invitation link. Now, if you're somebody that's looking for my course in signals, I offer that through my Discord. Now, the video course is an excellent resource for you guys that wanna start learning how to day trade these markets, how to swing trade, and just be a long-term investor in general. I've gone through and made a 20 video part series that actually explains all of my strategies for profiting inside of crypto, and it's all just my knowledge compiled from being in this crypto market for over 4 years. I've learned from a lot of really cool analysts, and I've been able to spend a lot of money on different courses to teach me the things that I know, and I'm going to be teaching you guys all of those things inside the video course, so make sure that you guys check that out. Now, the signals are an excellent resource for you guys that actually want to start learning how to day trade these markets, swing trade, as well as just invest in general. You guys can also direct message me any questions that you have, and I will answer as soon as I possibly can. And so this is a really good way for you guys to actually profit alongside with me. You guys can copy my portfolio, and while you're actually learning from the course, it's a really good way to continue to be profitable even while you're learning some new stuff. So make sure that you guys join by clicking in the description. Once you guys have that invitation link, shoot me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for being the most amazing community. I love each and every one of you, and I'm so appreciative of all of you. Make sure that you guys do me a favor by smashing that subscribe button, hit that like button. I know that my community is the best one out there, and I really want to hit 1,000 likes for this video. So make sure that you guys help me get to that goal by smashing up that like button. Alright guys, with all that being said, let's quit messing around and let's jump right in this video today. Alrighty guys, so here we are taking a look at Bitcoin block reward halving countdown. As you can see, we're just over 4 days away before we have this next halving. This is the 3rd halving in Bitcoin cycle since it's been around since 2008, 2009. And this is going to be a major catalyst for this next bull run. People are going to set themselves up to make a lot of money, and it's very, very important that we're paying attention to this. Now, every single time we have a halving in Bitcoin, it's been a major catalyst for price expansion on the upside, and this is highly what I'm expecting to play out once again. So make sure that we're all staying aware of this. Make sure that you guys are timing your investments and are staying up to date with everything that is important happening inside of these markets, because what is going to come is going to be life-changing if you know how to position yourself on the right end of the market. Now, here we are guys taking a look at Bitcoin on the dollar. Now, what I want to talk about here is we have this black descending and ascending support and resistance. This is a symmetrical triangle, and then you guys can see here that we have these 2 green lines. Now, the 2 green lines, we can see, this is actually an example of a broadening wedge. This is a descending broadening wedge. You also have broadening wedge patterns, broadening tops, and broadening reversals. Now, broadening top would be kind of an example of something like, well, it'd be something like this, except you'd break on the downside. They can really go either or way, but in this case, we're seeing a bullish one. Now, if we come into Bitcoin, we can see that we've had this broadening range that's been playing out for a while now. We've had a lot of swings, and we just barely started breaching from that point, and we can see that right here. We do have candle bodies outside of this descending resistance. This is very bullish overall, and I think that this is a very good sign to see inside of Bitcoin. Now, with that being said, guys, we are breaking from this short-term descending resistance of the first macro higher high. We're still coiling inside of this symmetrical triangle. Now, with the descending resistance of the broadening wedge and the descending resistance of the symmetrical triangle, both lining up at the same spot, I really would not be the least bit surprised if we follow this and we break out super hard if Bitcoin goes straight to 14K next. And, you know, I was talking to you guys about 12K, and really this is the thing. With what we're seeing inside of Bitcoin today, because we are breaking out of this reversal pattern, it's really hard to say exactly how high we're going to go. But the one thing that I feel within myself right now is the fact that because these two descending resistances are so close, I mean, if we come up here and hit about 10.5 and reject, then obviously we're going to know that we're going to need some more time to consolidate because this descending resistance was too great. But with that being said, it's very important to note that with these two resistances being so close, it's very possible that we could just break out of both of those and have a very impulsive move. And we could very easily hit 14K and even upwards of 16K before we see a short-term correction. And this is why I've kind of updated you guys and said that it's very important that we're taking the time to accumulate in the dip while we can. And if we haven't, having at least some exposure is going to be okay. Even if you're not right, the thing for me, guys, is this is a long-term strategy for me. And if you're somebody here that wants to invest in a crypto, you've seen Bitcoin going up and you're worried that you're going to be FOMOing in, well, you got to look at it from this perspective. How long do you plan on holding this? If you plan on holding this for over a year and an extended length of time, the best time to buy was yesterday, and that's just the way it goes. You always want to just be investing when you can. If it's a down day, do what you can to invest on those days as well, because that's the better probability chance of you profiting. But it doesn't always have to be the case. You can still buy when it's going up. The plan is to buy while it's cheap. And in retrospect, we're still well below this all-time high mark. And so that's kind of the advice that I could give to you as far as that goes. But if we do break out of this symmetrical triangle, guys, this has been a very long consolidation. And if we break out of that, it's going to create a very large expansion on the upside. And I don't think a lot of people are expecting it. Because we've had this long choppy consolidation, because the markets have bled so profusely in this bear market, a lot of people are shaken out. A lot of people are terrified of what we're seeing here, but that's exactly why it's going to leave everybody behind. And so it's very important that we're timing our entries accordingly. And so for me to look at this right now, I'm seeing this as a big coil, and if we start impulsing, it's very likely that we're going to break out pretty quickly, right? This is just a long-term consolidation. This broadening wedge is a short-term consolidation, but this was still about 8 months length of time. And so with what we're seeing, guys, we are breaking out of this. I think that that's a really bullish sign, and we need to be paying attention to that. Let's actually go into a shorter time frame here. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. We can see that we have very cleanly broken from this descending resistance here. We have made a higher high, and it's looking very, very bullish overall. So these are some things to pay attention for in the now. Our next stop is going to be this 10,500 resistance, which is also going to coexist with the descending resistance of this move. I think we'll come here. We might get a short-term pullback, but if we don't get a strong rejection at that level, it's very likely that we're going to see a strong impulse upwards of, you know, $11,000 to $12,000. Now, this is the cool thing about these chart patterns, guys, is the fact that I can show you which levels theoretically should have a pullback, but at the end of the day, I can never for sure know. And this could be the very start of a really strong parabolic move upwards and a very big expansion that will most likely leave a lot of people behind. And so something to keep a note of is don't expect the unexpected here. Nobody's really expecting this to just break straight up. I think that most people are expecting a healthy correction or a decent correction, but that's the exact reason why we might not get one of those, right? And so something to pay attention towards is the fact that in this impulse, this thing could get very parabolic really quickly. And if in fact that actually takes place, it is very, very important that you guys understand that it's not the time to FOMO. You don't want to FOMO buy after it's really started going parabolic, because if you didn't buy in here and you start to see it break 11, 12K and go even higher than that, you're going to really start feeling the urge to FOMO. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, don't do that, because there will be a correction at some point. Now, if you're somebody that wants to hold long term and you're looking at the prices right now, buying now is still relatively undervalued in retrospect, because I see Bitcoin being worth over 100K. Now, let's actually dive into the next part of the chart, because this is going to be very important for all you altcoin holders, because what we're seeing here is a very important pattern playing out. Now, I've updated you guys with this in times past, but virtually every time we've had a bottom. So something to keep a note of this chart. Let me explain it real quick. This is the altcoin market cap by dominance. We can see over here this number of 32.5. That's a percentage. So basically what that means is out of the 100% of the market cap in crypto, 32.5% of that is controlled by altcoins. So the altcoin market cap dominance, or the altcoin share of that market cap, is 32%. And what I wanted to point out here is every time we have a bottom, one of these lows before a big pump, so we get the pump and we reject right here, we fall, we bottom, we pump, reject, bottom, pump, reject, bottom, then we do the same thing. This is this pattern that's playing out. Now every time we get this pump, the bottom of that pump is a Fibonacci equivalent, and I'll show you guys what that means. The Fibonacci sequence is a mathematical indicator that we use not only in all walks of life, but we use it in trading specifically. That was my point here. Now, this is the way the Fibonacci sequence works. It came about from Leonardo da Fibonacci, I believe is what his name was. But anyways, that guy specifically was trying to figure out how many rabbit offspring could be produced off of one secular parent. And so this is the mathematic equation that goes 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 and 5, 13, 13 and 8, 21, and so on and so forth. Now, altcoin dominance is actually following this exact same Fibonacci equation, and I'll share with you guys it as follows. So each one of these bottoms is actually a Fibonacci equivalent. So let's go through here and actually label them real quick. So we can't see enough price history to go all the way back to 0 and to 1% and 1 and 1 to 2%, but we start at 3. So let's look at this and let's start at 3. So 3 plus 2 is 5, and we're going to go through here and actually label these equivalents. So this bottom right here bottomed at 3.7%. We can see that over there. So right around 3% we bottomed. So there's our first equivalent. Now the way the Fibonacci sequence goes is 3 plus 2 is going to be 5, and that should theoretically get us the next equivalent. And let's make sure that's right. 3 and 2 is 5, right? So let's go take a look here. Theoretically, this one should bottom at 5, and that's exactly what we saw, about 5.5% dominance that we bottomed. And then we had an alt season. Altcoins rallied, and you made a bunch of money if you would have bought at these lows. Now, this takes us to the next equivalent. So 5 plus 3 is 8, and that should be the next bottom in this equation if we fall true. So 8%. The bottom of this is 8%, about 8.5%. So it still follows true. And then we got another big alt season, right? Now, let's see if this continues to play out. 8 and 5 equals 13. So this one over here should be 13. And yeah, we can see that as being 13. The low was 13 right there. And then we got our big alt season, right? So this pattern is played out once, twice, 3, 4 different times. Now, let's assume that it's actually going to be playing out again. Where is the next equivalent in the sequence? Well, 13 plus 8 equals 21. So where is 21 on this graph? Let's draw a line here. So 21% dominance is right here. And theoretically, this should be the next equivalent inside of our pattern here, which would also be about would also be support of the previous resistance in that last cycle. And so looking at this, guys, 21% dominance is going to take us to about right here, somewhere right around that range, and that would follow this exact same Fibonacci equation once again. And that's what I think is actually on its way to playing out for the 5th time. And it also coexists nicely with this previous trend line. We're going to hit this 21% dominance, and that is going to be the buy opportunity for altcoins. Now, with that being said, if you're looking at this and you're holding a lot of altcoins and you're wondering, well, should I just buy a bunch of Bitcoin right now, or should I move my altcoins? The dollar pairs of the altcoins are going to continue to go up with Bitcoin. So you still will make money off the dollar pairs, but you'll make more money off of Bitcoin because Bitcoin is going to be outperforming the altcoins. And so I only think that this is going to happen for one more low. I think that this will be a strong stab, a really quick lower low, and altcoins will bleed really quickly, but that's going to be a great opportunity to move your Bitcoin profits into the altcoins. And so this is why I've always said it's very important that we're holding Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is always the driver of value, and when Bitcoin really starts to lead the rally, altcoins bleed. And when that happens, we can make money off of Bitcoin profits from it going up, and we can take those Bitcoin and buy altcoins with it when altcoins are undervalued. And so I'm going to be leveraging into altcoins here pretty heavily at about 21%. I'm already heavily invested in altcoins because overall, over the course of the cycle, I'll make way more off of altcoins. And so if you're watching this and you're feeling scared because, oh no, my altcoin is going down against Bitcoin, don't worry about it because this is a long-term game. I wouldn't recommend trying to do a lot of trading and try to switch in and out of the markets because your tax liability is going to be higher. There's more risk involved, and it's just hard to predict the markets. Nobody can accurately just 100% predict markets. You use technical analysis to have an actual advantage over that through probabilities. And so don't get too shaken out right now. In my opinion, we will see a lower low, but your dollar value and altcoins will hold. They might go down a little bit initially with Bitcoin rallying, but overall they're going to continue to go up. And with that being said, long term, when I'm taking profits in 2021, long term for me, my altcoin bags will outperform the entire Bitcoin cycle. And so by me trading Bitcoin is me literally, the only reason I have Bitcoin is I invest in a Bitcoin, Bitcoin leads the rallies, I take Bitcoin profits, and I move them into altcoins when they're at an undervalued point. And then I just repeat that cycle until I grow my Bitcoin stack. And so that's my only ever reason for trading Bitcoin in the first place, because long term I just make more money off of altcoins and just holding the length of trend for altcoins. And so really, guys, we have one more low coming. I don't think it's going to be quite as crazy as people might think. And with that being said, it's going to create a really good buying opportunity to move those Bitcoin profits back into altcoins. And so I want to talk to you guys about this. I want to talk about this pattern that's playing out because I think it's going to create a very good buying opportunity throughout the altcoins. With that being said, let's quickly talk about some things inside of Bitcoin today. Let's take a look at the monthly because this sucker looks just like it's going to pop off. The monthly is the one chart and the one candlestick that actually makes me feel like we could just start ripping straight up to the all-time high, which would be about 14K. I think that that's going to be the next real resistance because this was the candle body resistance on the monthly. This was also where we peaked at 14K, and I wouldn't be surprised if we rally straight up back to this level because we're showing so much strength. This is a huge wick that took place. This is a huge wick and a bullish engulfing candle, and this is continuation after a bullish engulfing candle, which is more reason to be bullish. I do not understand why you would be bearish in this time because I foresee this as a very good opportunity, and this is why I'm saying this, making this video now. If you haven't accumulated any Bitcoin, you probably want to start adding to those. Understand that there's always risk involved. We could reject and start having a short-term correction. But overall, if you're a long-term investor, I personally don't worry so much about what the short-term price action is if I'm buying long-term spot buys. Obviously, I accumulated this entire dip, and I did have meticulous price entries in which doing so. But overall, I'm less worried about it if I have some extra cash and I'm sitting here wondering, well, I got extra cash, I want to buy some Bitcoin. I'm not going to worry so much about the short-term price because I'm holding long-term anyways, so I'll just buy it. And that's the way that I personally trade these markets, and that's why I don't worry so much about the short-term action because it's volatile as hell. You're going to get chopped up if you're so focused on that, and that's what we've been seeing thus far. So right now, guys, I think that it's very likely that with this impulse and with us showing such strength, I think that we could very easily be heading upwards of this 14K mark next. And with us showing such strength on the monthly time frame, I think that that is really what could be the next big catalyst moving forward. I mean, with what we're seeing right here is just a lot of strength in Bitcoin. I'm personally very bullish on Bitcoin. I think that with Bitcoin showing strength and looking like it's going to bleed these altcoins, it would make sense to me that with Bitcoin showing strength in these times and the altcoin dominance showing weakness, we might be ready for a really big pump inside of Bitcoin, a really big pump. Very, very large pump, one that we haven't seen for a while. And basically what happens in those times is Bitcoin will pump really hard. It'll bleed the dollar pairs. It'll bleed the Bitcoin pairs, mainly the Bitcoin pairs. But then, Bitcoin will just be ripping up, and then everybody will be trying to sell their altcoins to be moving into Bitcoin. And then eventually Bitcoin will top out, and then altcoins pick up that steam, right? And so with us showing strength, I think that Bitcoin could be ready for a big move. This big move will quickly bleed the altcoins for one more low. The dollar pairs could still trend up with Bitcoin overall, but I think that if it's a quick enough move in Bitcoin, it'll even bleed the dollar pair sometimes. So it's just something to pay attention of. I think that it's more likely that Bitcoin's setting up for a big impulsive move because the altcoin dominance is showing weakness. I think that that's usually what happens in these times, and so that's what I'm going to continue to watch for. But anyways, guys, this is the video I had for you. Always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel. Click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new videos like the one provided for you here. If you guys want access to my video course or signals, all you got to do is click in the description of this video, and then you're going to find the invitation link to my server. On the server, all you got to do to get access to on my server, you guys can hit me up if you want access to the video course and signals, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, and I will catch you in the next video. As always, peace out.